made no sense to me. So it has to be a new form, right?
Well, what I was thinking was when Gohan does his little form or whatever, I feel like it's a play on that, you know?
No, no, I would hate that. I would hate that so much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergies, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji. With me, my co-host, as always, Bay.
What up?
What's up, Irby?
Shoot,
There
the
you go.
usual.
There you go. There you go. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Just living life, dog.
Nice.
Living the life.
Living
What
in Viva
about
Loca?
yourself? Nah, I don't even know what that means.
I don't really know what it means either.
Dang. So you out here just saying stuff you don't know what it means, huh?
It's in that song. I don't know. Living in Viva Loca.
Song of your people.
Is that my people?
I don't know.
Shit, dog.
I just be saying stuff. And I
Use
don't
my
even know what I
people.
be saying. Nah, dog. I'm nobody's people.
Damn.
I'm nothing. I'm
Yo,
just a figment of your imagination.
well, I'll proceed to keep talking to myself and ask myself, you got a flavor this week, big dog?
I do. I'm going to go with Tower God this week when they were giving the anonymous interviews about Bam's ranking test. Everyone knows it's a cun rack. That was just a little silly thing. That's pretty hilarious. Did enjoy that one.
Bam's ranking test.
Yeah.
To think, my man was holding back.
He was. He didn't even use both the thorns or the thrasa.
Nope.
So so
Imagine
I
what his
already
rank really is.
yeah. I already know. Well, they had said his power was of that of an administrator earlier in the season. So I was like, huh. Because at first it made me think like, oh, they were going blow for blow. I was like, how strong is his ranker? And then I was like, my man ain't got the thorn out nor the thrasa.
Nope.
I was like, what is you doing, homie?
He going easy on the boy.
He should have just obliterated him in one strike. That really would have got his name out there. But I guess he's kind of trying to temper it to stay under the radar, but because he doesn't really want to show how much he's grown, I guess.
The Slayer candidate, baby.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly, he
know.
should just be a Slayer at this point.
I think he's stronger than what they're trying to say, if that makes sense. Because I think he can give Caliban a good old match, but
I think they want to. I don't think they wanted him to go all out in that fight for some. I forget the reason, but there was a reason for that.
yeah, I think he just wanted to get their attention
Let them
because
know
they
he's something they should be worried about.
yeah, because he's there and he wanted to get the leaders' attention. Like he wanted them to get behind him. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thought process.
Well, I feel like we should get into Tower of God now, but then we might as
You ain't
well.
got no flavor.
If I was to say, I might as well get my flavor out the way before we dive full in because we almost dived all in on that.
No, I ain't dived. That was just a shallow tone test of water. You
My
know.
flavor this week is coming out of Haji no Ippo. Hajime no Ippo. I don't really know how to say that, but it was when Makunochi Ippo, after almost pretty much every fight, starting off with like slow. I mean, like it's not a. He's kind of like a straightforward, just out punch you boxer. But in this
Mm.
last match that I saw against Sendo, the second fight they had, as soon as the bell rang, he just went in and knocked the dude down in like 13 seconds. Granted, I think it proceeded to go to like round 7, but that shit caught me off guard, and I was like, oh, that's the flavor.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's up? You want to
Mm-mm.
keep talking about Tower of God? You want to go to something else first?
Yeah, we can start about that since it's all fresh in our minds.
Mm.
So, Tower of God, season 3, episodes 43 to 51. So it starts off with White telling Kane Calivan's identity, and we find out that Calivan's trying to persuade her sister Dowan to join her or kill her sister. I'm like, oh, that's a great way to put it, to get someone to help work with you. Let's see. Yeah. And then he proceeds to say the only way a warrior finds peace is when they die. I was like, oh, that's deep. So I ain't never gonna find peace until then.
You a warrior, dog? You
Yeah,
fancy
dog.
yourself a warrior?
Every day I'm out here fighting to survive this thing we call life.
This thing called life.
Yeah, dog. You know it. So, and Kanye just wants a sister of peace. Rack wants Kanye to use his power infusion on him since he saw what it did to Bam. They start their little attack combo. Bam goes full Sharingan, starts dodging, ducking, and he's like, oh, yeah, I can see the moves. Thanks to Rack and Kun slowing them down. I'm good. I'm Bam, the protagonist. Yeah. So,
I don't think that's quite the thought process he had.
oh, that's what he said. That's what he was thinking. He's like, I'm indefensible. You can't defeat me. I'm the
Yeah,
gingerbread man.
I'm the gingerbread man.
So so then it's like they used a like reinforced rock fire combo, which is pretty sweet. I thought it was nice. Rack and Kun were together fighting. I do find it interesting that Kun's using more fire than his ice skill. And so I'm like, huh, maybe,
Khan's got that whole pride thing. He didn't want to use the ice ability anyway.
yeah, but still, he should have been born in the Eon family. So, so then delete. He's surprised that they're so comfortable fighting rankers, and he breaks out this big old needle, and let's see. He said they could cause a problem later. And they break the needle. I was like, oh man, Bam just out here breaking needles like it's nothing, not even full powered up in its base form. So then Calibers flip to Caliban. He starts to sort of White, but calling him not calling him the legendary Slayer. And then White gets upset, and my man gets a whole new sword out, Spinel, I believe it was called, and it's made from a whole bunch of swords. And then my man Hats is just on the sideline looking at it, being a voyeur. Uh, and White's sword is pretty cool too, like delayed damage. And then Caliban just OP just neutralized his sword, and he wants to capture White alive. I was like, oh snap!
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then we find the key to Kane waking up Dowan is she has to miss her sister enough and remember her. And once she does, all her memories will fade away and transfer into Dowan, which later on they talk. She inherits all of Kane's memories, so it's is it a double-edged sword? I don't know, because on the one hand, you save someone, but then on the other hand, you lose all memories of said someone. So it's kind of up to the beholder. What you think?
It's more. Mm, it's like give and take, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. If you lose all your memories, are you really even yourself? It's a dark question.
It's hard to answer a question.
Yeah, it is hard to answer. Which is why you're going to answer right now. No, I'm kidding. Next
I don't.
chapter.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
Yeah, White asks for Do-won's help. She says, I'll decide who I'll work for. Bam tries to reason with Delect, and Kun's like, no, you just got to use some force. And yeah, they broke the needle happened there. Let's see. Yeah, and Do-won received Kane's memories, and she took her memories away. So yeah, Do-won took all the people's memories away when she got locked up because they felt shame because they sacrificed her. Which, if you felt that much shame, then y'all should be like, nah, don't sacrifice yourself. We'll fight and we'll just die. But no, humans like to live, persevere. So they'll do anything but sacrifice their own lives in order to live.
Hmm.
Except for some humans, some folks. They're a different breed. But yeah, don't feel shame or regret. That's all I got to say. Because that's what you wanted. And yeah, because she thought they would have been tormented by it. And then we find out, I think this is young Jihad here. Uh, maybe. I don't know. But then I also feel like it has something to do with Wang Dan's part of jihadism, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Because the guy kind of looks like Wang Dan, but just has a mole. And he
Hmm.
calls himself the boss. And he's like a storyteller.
You could be onto something.
Could be. If I was, you wouldn't tell me till I read it anyway.
You might be right about that.
Oh, ain't no right. I am right about that. No, might. I am right.
Except for that
Ooh.
one time I spoiled Black Clover.
Yeah, you did. You spoiled it all. I've never read it again since you spoiled it for me.
You never read it again before that.
Nope, you spoiled it. So I was like, I'm done. Black Clover's dead to me now.
Nah, dog, you don't even know.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'll read it one. I'll read it again sometime. And so the storyteller says that one day the thorn that will slit the king's throat will show up, and that's Bam. And he also tells her a lot of people die because of Bam. And then she's like, "Oh, I gotta kill this guy." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Just kill the protagonist. And we still have about 30 some episodes after this, so I know he's gonna live. So then Ban neutralizes her attack. She's surprised. Bam asks where his master is when Caliban shows up. He's like, I don't know, but he knows. He's just a liar. Um, that's why Do-won is attacking him. And basically, she's like, she's not happy with what's been transpiring in the world while she's been asleep. And we find out that my man Kel, the Fug leader, elder, he had plans to kill Bam, but then he decided he wanted to see where it goes. So I was like, oh, he has that that effect that Bam had on Kun.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to see someone do well, I suppose. It's like, okay, let's see where this goes. I'm kind of anxious too myself.
Are you? Are you?
Yes, that's what I just stated.
Hey, man's hooked. No, he probably not hooked.
Nah, I ain't hooked. I
Damn.
would be hooked for nothing. Uh, yeah, and then they talk about war and how Bam's light of hope, and some guy arrives and tells Joanne that Bam is out from outside the tower, and she starts changing her tune. Like, okay. Then we go off to Yama's battlefield, and they do a solar flare attack, and then try to attack the cat person, and then they clash. And then he gives him the cat person gives Yama the Tobirama dilemma when Hashirama had to either kill himself or kill his brother, and he chose to kill himself so his brother can live. But it didn't play out that way. It turned out something totally different. And then we get a little glimpse of a coalition of people that want to wake the hero. But I'm like, the hero already been woken up. And then I remembered that there's a whole nother hero that locked themselves away. That's the one they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So So Catra commences the attacks, and Grandpa starts to fight. Kill him in, and Grandpa can bend his spear, and Catra gets speared by a fallen soldier. I thought this part here was like kind of petty. Like, dude was already knocked out. Like you couldn't have did anything else. They thought you was dead, and they just pretty much left you alone so you could not interfere or not get hurt anymore. And then you sit up and throw a spear through the guy's back. I'm like, dang. But I figured he'd be a side character anyway. But interested to see his story. He might be back to life. I don't know. Who knows? But I just thought that was a petty thing right there. I was like, what's the point of that? And then Kel's foresight, his destiny's blacked out, so he can't really see what's going on the destinies. And Child launches a powerful attack just after waking up. And then we get his mysterious traveler story of how he could see Do-Wan again if he sealed himself. Traveler told him the boy would come and make his wish come true. He'd be from a noble bloodline and destiny. And I thought this was interesting because I think they're the same person, but they
Interpreted it differently.
or I think they may have I don't know. I feel like there's two schools of thought I have on this. That it was the same person, but he wanted them to pit themselves against each other just so they could fight. And he wouldn't have to fight and destroy himself. Or it could be Jada actually has a twin, and then he's like his twin wants the betterment of the tower, and the other twin wants to rule the tower. I don't know, but I just think it's interesting. Like, why do you have to pit them against each other? There was no need for that. Yeah. So then everyone's surprised to find out Bam is an irregular, and Dowan was waiting for Bam, but she doesn't know what to do. And she joins Caliban in exchange for letting Bam go, and it won't hurt the rest of the town people or his sister. And Caliban's like, "Oh, I know how to kill Bam, but I'm just a soldier now." And he's like, "I just gotta follow orders." And then Dowan exacts her revenge on the chairman when she goes to confront him. And she kills him and says, "It's time for you to pay for your sins. You wasted too much time, and you wasted your peace." And the man tells Bam he knows where Hansa is. But the guy that earlier that told everyone Bam was irregular. And he's in the nest, and it's a low Pobia family base. Yeah, that's nice. And so, yeah, I had a note about the mysterious traveler telling them some stuff to get him on their side. And yes, Stretcha says his mission is to get one of the heroes. And then Rastacha is told to retreat. And he kills Corrosion. And then he makes the rest of the canine people kill each other. I'm like, ooh, buddy, that is terrible villain behavior. Then so keep going.
Is it?
Yeah, very villainous like. And so Khan informs Bam of all the disasters that happened in the past few days. And we find out a little bit more information about the nest. It's a waterfall that's like frozen in time. That's where they used to hatch all their eggs and stuff. And I guess one of the effects is it also powers the fortress. So, and we also find out half the Canaan people died. Um, and then Doom is asked by Yama if he knows Yes Stracha. And then we find out that the Canaan people used to belong to the Lopobia family. And I'm like, oh. And also, they tell him about the nest because it's a plan to lure out all those that want to follow Bam there and wipe them out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just kill them all. But the guy really doesn't want to lead him there because they already know it's a trap. And Bam said he's trying to get people. She's like, you're trying to get people killed and stuff, and he's like, it's not his fault. And he's like, I should have killed you when I had a chance. And then my favorite redhead shows back up, forward young. And she's like, I'll show you where to go. But under the condition you get an elder to sign off on it and go with you. And Bam's strategist has a plan to get this done. You know who his strategist is?
Con.
Yes. I thought it was fitting. Yeah, so Bam goes to the ranking bureau. Only one person before has ever defeated a test ranker. That was Adori Jihad. And then the ranker tries to intimidate Bam, but then Bam intimidates the ranker with his unseen new orb thing, Raging Water. And Cha, the other hero, is going to follow Bam. Avankel tells Yama Bam is missing, and Bam's the project officials overseeing the fight. He has battle experience. He's adaptive. Bam wins. Then the anonymous interviews, which I spoke of earlier, was all funny, made me laugh. I do enjoy Kun. I feel like Kun and Rack, they're a hilarious dual thing. They should do a whole spinoff of them two just going up the tower.
Yo, dog, you see how many fucking episodes there are? You want a spin off?
After it's done, you guys have something to do. I don't suspect there's going to be, um, like 23 seasons worth of this. They'll probably wrap it up at some point.
I don't know. We still seem pretty far from a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they got. I think they have over a thousand episodes. Once you hit 1,000, you gotta make your point and wrap it up. You don't need that much longer. So, but then again, this isn't like a TV show either.
No, it's not. But
You
the
gotta,
chapters are pretty lengthy.
yeah,
Yeah. So like, season one was just. Hold on. Let's see real quick. Season one was just 78 chapters. They were relatively short, and it got wrapped up into I think 13 or 14 episodes on Crunchyroll with some stuff cut out. And then
mm,
season two ended up being 337 chapters. Like almost quadrupled. I don't know what the number is exactly.
yeah. I don't know either.
But it's at least minimum 4 times the amount. And then season three, we're currently at 127 chapters. But season three looks like it might be ending soon. I don't know.
Yeah, as long as they finish under 1,000 episodes, that'd be great.
Hey man,
That's gonna be
if you have a
long and
good
drawn
story, keep
out.
going.
Nah, sometimes all good things must come to an end.
Eventually, I agree.
Yeah. hmm So,
I
so then,
agree.
so then they get acknowledged by the Bam gets acknowledged by people in Fug and other people that want to join his uprising, and people rush to fight the Ranker, Pan, and they all get mollywopped. I don't know why they all thought they I guess they thought Pan was some light work off the case. I don't know, but Pan he put up a nice little fight. Bam was just the main story. So so then um yeah. And then who's that Mad Dog? Yeah, another little tidbit. Mad Dog wasn't affected by the Kane Stracha manipulating the other people. He just sat back and watched. So he sits out on a journey to figure out why that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of had a theory about that too.
Go
I
on.
think I think when Bam made contact, he'd somehow unconsciously did away with the curse that's on them. I don't know if it is a curse. I'm just speculating. That could be it. Couldn't be it. But I
That's
thought that's interesting.
that's a good theory that I just now got the answer to not too long ago.
Yeah. So what is it?
I ain't telling you.
Dang. On a show that's supposed to be spilling tea, you don't want to spill no tea.
You got about 100 chapters to figure it out.
Nah, dog. I need to know right now.
Nah,
The listeners want to know.
not happening.
Mm, they do want to know.
No.
Listeners want to know.
Huzzah.
Yeah, so. Yeah, da, 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 da.
Da da
Yeah,
da da.
so then Chad asked Bam to serve him, and he told him some info about the tower and whatnot. And then there's a low Beto Leborix, kind of looks like a Kun person. Was he in the Kun fairy? Maybe they married out. Uh, and then we found out that there was a member of her team that, yeah, because this is the part where Dowan's there, and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be trouble," because she's kind of running the base. And I'm like, "Oh, was he the one that betrayed her? Maybe, I don't know." And then Bam arrives at the nest and start the traveling stuff. So yeah, that's that.
That's that.
Wrapped it all up like a nice little Christmas present.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Alright, so what shall
Mm.
we discuss next? So should I go into Super?
Yeah, go on, start in some super duper star.
Alright, so in Dragon Ball Super, we continue with Vegeta and Goku versus Gas. And Vegeta kind of takes over the fight, blah, blah, blah. The more damage I take, the more powerful I get. And he tells Goku to back off because his form doesn't look any different than what it did before. And with that being said, he won't be any match for Gas. So Goku backs up and he starts meditating.
Mm.
And as Vegeta starts getting his ass beat, and Goku saves Vegeta with a barrier and then puts a barrier on himself and then moves Vegeta over and decided this is the perfect form to fight you. And then it looks like he goes Ultra Instinct UI. Or no, what's the sign? Ultra Instinct sign. Like the first one, the incomplete one. Which made no sense to me. So it has to be a new form, right?
Well, what I was thinking was when Gohan does his little form or whatever, I feel like it's a play on that. You know,
No, no, I would hate that. I would hate that so much.
I was thinking I was like because Gohan he's somehow at peace but still in control of his rage. So I was like, oh, that's like similar to Gohan's form.
Well, I don't think that form has anything to do with rage.
It
They
that
just
form
call
lets you
they just call him
no,
Ultimate Gohan.
yeah, but I mean, he if you think about it, he was kind of mad when Majin Buu was doing that stuff to everyone on Earth when he finally got back, but he kept it in check per se. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, like
Like it's a form that you if you have strong emotions,
I'm not
it
saying
might.
like he wasn't in rage or anything. I'm saying I don't think that form has anything to do with rage. Whereas like that one time Vegeta got super pissed and like surpassed Goku Super Saiyan 3 in Super Saiyan 2 for a moment and like hit Lord Beerus.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying, but like I'm only saying it's similar because Goku's he has a whole bunch of like because Goku says this form allows me to use my emotions. So I'm saying like Gohan, he was clear headed, but still like oh I gotta defeat this guy to save my family and save everyone and people of Earth. So that's kind of like the emotion thing. I'm angling at.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would hate it if it's like Ultimate Goku. That's what that form was. Just Gohan's ultimate form, but Goku instead. And it was just like,
It
oh,
could
no.
just be another throwaway form just to get in there and advance the plot line. you know?
It could be, but it because it almost seems stupid to like revert back to the incomplete form of Ultra Instinct so you can fight with your emotions.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where what if it's like a completely different form,
That's why I'm thinking it
but
has to be a
like
completely different form because the issue in the tournament power was in that form he could do defense, but there was no offense power to output.
yeah, like it's one of those ones where it's like he just tapped into it, but then he doesn't know what it is to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we'll
Those-
find out next month.
Next month, next month.
Damn, by the time I can read Dragon Ball again, One Piece will be out. Yes.
You
But I gotta wait for it again. I gotta wait for. Hopefully, go back to weekly after that.
Nah, I hope it go back to monthly.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. It would never end.
That would be great. Give you a break, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I finally get excited for something." Like, "Oh, One Piece is back."
Unless they are
Huh.
doing like 50 panels, then yeah, okay, that's fine. I can wait a month for 50 panels.
Nah, give back the 19 panels.
Yeah, but that's pretty much where we ended in the Dragon Ball Super chapter. Goku kind of beating Gas, and Gas saw Bardock's face, and then like Gas's brother was like, "Is this what you're made of?" And like kind of insulted, and Goku's like, "Hey man, you don't gotta talk to him like that." And it's like, "Nah, you don't get it." And Gas got up, and it looked like he lost a lot of his life force.
Yeah, and he was I thought it was interesting. Go, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll fight him again someday." And then Alec was like, "There's not gonna be a next day," and I was like, "Ooh, a
Yeah,
next time."
it's almost like the opposite of Moto, where like Moto started off old and got young, but like Gas, I guess Gas's ultimate power uses up his life force.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know I'm just like, dang, he's gonna die. But yeah. Mm-mm-mm. And we'll switch on to some gears and go on to.
Ugh, Boruto.
Now I would say we could do Jujutsu, do a quick little 3 sentence little, It's because there wasn't much there. It's just mostly fighting. The guy tries to crush Hakure's head because you cut off the head of a snake, you'll kill the beast. So we find out that Hattori can actually heal quick, and then my guy does like a Kirin, and he slices through Hakure's side, and then Hakuri does a domain expansion, and it's idle death gamble. So my man might be coming back. I don't know. That's it for Jujutsu. Not too much there. And Boruto. Oh man,
Hey, at least
Boruto.
it was an entertaining quick 15 panels, and then yeah, Boruto.
Yeah, it was.
I
The
skimmed through
fighting was in there.
Boruto. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I felt like there was some internal turmoil.
Yeah, wasn't too much in Boruto. So well, I mean, there's enough to talk about. So basically, Armando tells Ida Kawaki is the ace up his sleeve, and then he's like, "You can go to Kona, Ida," and Damon stops. Code starts trying to kill Armando because he's like, "Oh, that's enough talking." So he stops them, and then they start calling Code a hindrance, and Ida is going to terminate their partnership. Uh, yeah, and then they talk, and then Code and her brother get into a little tip because he's like, "Oh, there can only be one of us," and I want to be the one that serves Ida. Code says that to him, but then we found out the secret of Damon's technique. He must be touching you in order to reflect your attack. And we find out Code's power is actually stronger than Jigen's. So I was like, ooh, that's gonna be rough. And then Code says he's gonna eat the divine fruit and then make his true feelings known to Ida, whether he wants to love or kill her once he becomes an Otsutsuki. And Armando had implanted a unique emergency shutdown code in Kawaki, and he's the only one that can activate it. And they talk about Armando's other objective, and he's like, "I'll tell you once we get to Kona." And then found out that Code just wanted to get revenge on the village and everyone there. Quick synopsis.
Yeah, Boruto, woohoo!
I love Boruto. Yeah. Boruto's great. I feel like Boruto a little better than Overlord.
I wouldn't know. I don't watch Boruto. I don't read Boruto.
Dang.
uh, it would take a really bad show to be worse than Boruto. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But Boruto's not actually bad. I enjoy Boruto.
Eh, eh.
Yeah.
I can just. I wouldn't mind just watching like fights on YouTube. It's like, all right, next fight. Just give me all the fights in canonical order, and I'll be all right.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll figure out the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Most of like the life changing things happen during fights anyway.
For the most part.
So, speaking of Overlord, might as well talk about it. Let's bring up the old notice. Oh,
Overlord.
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 Episodes 11, 12, and 13. So, in these last 3 episodes, that's right, guys, you heard me, last 3 episodes until season 4 comes out.
Thank goodness.
Can I
Yeah.
just make a critical note real quick? If this was season 3, that means it didn't come out too long ago, right?
I'm not sure. I feel like it's been out for a while.
I mean, like it's not like you've seen tons of people
It
on
came
like
out
no,
July 7th, 2015.
it came out before. It came out after like Shippuden and shit like that, right? Like Bleach,
Yeah.
right? I hate the laziness of the animation when there was a lot of people on the screen, and how like if you paid attention,
He
you just saw
got
the
they
same people running back and forth.
yeah, they look kind of deflected.
They looked like they were just the prototype scene and just left there. Like the movements didn't look fluid. It was just I was come on, we can do better than that, can't we? But
Yeah.
whatever. Um in episode 11, another battle, Henry and the goblins were facing the prince and their army, and they decided they'd rather be loyal to Lord Ainz than subject themselves to the prince and his commands. So in a tight spot, Henry blows the goblin horn again, and a goblin fucking army shows up, which made no sense to me. And we had, hold on, we had the goblin in armor, which made sense. Then there was a marching band goblin crew that made no sense to me. I was like, where'd they get drums? Where'd they get outfits for the marching band? Why are there marching band goblins? There were White Knight goblins, Black Knight goblins, Archer goblins, Magic goblins, debuff and buff goblins, Assassin goblins, and Elite goblin guards. There were so many fucking goblins. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. Ainz didn't know. He was like, "You can do that? I didn't know you could do that. You could do that."
Mm,
But then,
yeah.
so they overpowered the prince and his men, and Henry decided to let them off the hook because she wanted negotiating power. But then Lupus Regina showed up and killed the dude, jumping between acting sexy and acting psycho. Said, "You don't deserve to be. You're not in Lord Ain's plans for the future." And then she just
Yeah. Got the goblins out to kill him.
mm-hmm. Then
Yeah.
episode 12, the massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Ainz cast a very super magic tier death spell that sacrificed 70,000 soldiers, and summoned whatever the fuck that ugly glob looking ass teeth filled creature was. He called them baby goats.
Yeah, my man had the powerful hockey. He can knock them all out.
Yeah, and they make goat sounds.
The bleeding goes, meh.
Yeah, it was ugly to look at. But
Ugly to listen to.
and then like he had everyone on his side. I honestly thought Ainz was just gonna kill everyone, like the people next to him included.
Yeah.
But they all eventually fled in terror, as the five baby goats, which was a new record apparently, wreaked havoc, and Ainz hopped on one of them and went towards, excuse me, went towards the king.
Gaseous.
I think he was going
The
towards the
king.
king direction, but then he ran into the chief warrior. I forget his name. Do you know his name?
Gaseous.
Gaziv.
Yeah.
And episode 13, player versus player, which I thought this was a spoiler.
I definitely was like, oh, there's finally another human in there.
Yeah, I thought this was a spoiler, and I criticized the episode, and I was like, oh, never mind, my bad.
Yeah.
And
Because
I'm
he came out, yeah, and he was like, oh, this is just what we do with the fight, or this is what I call player versus player.
PvP. Yeah, so Gaza challenges Ainz into a one-on-one that he pretty much forbids Brain to from entering, and Ainz made Gaziv before that an offer to join his army, and he would spare everyone there. But Gaziv said he's only loyal to the king, and even if everyone's life is thrown, then so be it. I was like,
I mean, that just shows the value of loyalty and honor to him.
that does, but
Like if he had came in and he was one of Ainz's people, then Ainz would have rewarded that loyalty. But it was the king's men, so
yeah, I mean, it's cool that he was that loyal, but the logical answer would have been to save the lives. You could have
but
been
then
loyal by saving the lives, and you could have asked Ainz to spare the kingdom at
but
the end of
see
it. You know what I mean?
it but then it's a slippery slope because on the same hand, would Ainz ever trust him for flip flopping for someone he ever was too loyal to? So he might already be wary of you anyway.
I don't know.
And
I mean,
then
Ainz did say he was disappointed.
yeah, and then if you
I don't even know why
if
he
you
actually wanted him on the team.
he's a good person,
He
a good
is, he
soldier,
is.
loyal.
But like, he pales in comparison to the people he already has around him. So I don't know why he wanted
It,
Gaziv.
it's probably more the human aspect because he would be able to go into the places that Ainz told him, and they're like, "Oh, he's a human like us." So it's probably a connection to that side of humanity. Yeah, because and also if he starts by switching loyalties, there's no telling what else he'll do next. Like he might
Or
start
maybe he
kill
wanted an
babies
advocate,
and yeah. I don't. He that could
someone,
be it too.
yeah, someone with human emotions intact.
Yeah. Let's get the other side of the spectrum, like yeah, like that what you call him, man, where he the magic user, where he switched up sides.
Oh yeah, I wonder what happened with him.
Yeah.
Kind of made a
Um.
big deal about his betrayal, and then I never saw him again.
Yeah. So I don't know. It all depends.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
so they start their duel, and as soon as the kid rings the bells, Ainz just stops time and casts a death spell on Gaziv. And as soon as like he lets go, Brian and the kid are just like, "Yo, what the hell just happened?" And they're like, "Oh, Gaziv, whatever." And he's like, "Stop, he's already dead." And then Ainz lays him down gently, closes his eyes, and I think an interesting thing to note was Hines did say that sword Degasif was using, if used correctly, can harm him and even kill him under the right circumstances. So I wonder if we're gonna
Hmm.
see a little about what that sword can do in season 4 because Brain
Probably
has it
not.
now.
I ain't watching it no more.
But we end the season with Ainz actually taking over the territory. The kingdom surrendered the city to Lord Ainz, and I don't know who was pretending to be Momon, but they had a little scurf where Momon said he'll serve them as long as they're justful, but if they harm people, then his blades will be pointing at them. And you saw Albedo have a little probably go crazy in her head when Ainz touched her shoulder.
Yeah.
And then we enter the throne room, and Ainz thanks everyone for being there for him, and then we ended season 3.
Yep.
Uh,
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, I'll keep watching. I'll watch season 4, but like, I can see where Ainz is powerful. I'm just not seeing the substance in the story. It's the story that's like not clicking for me.
Yeah,
Like, I
dog.
don't know what we're trying to. I get what we're trying to accomplish, but like, I don't get the route we're taking to accomplish it.
Yeah. It just there's a whole lot of just like faking it till you make it with this, and I'm just like, oh man, be confident in yourself, guy. You already know you're strong. Do what you got to do. And he's just like, he said something where he was like, oh, well, I'll just have to. I don't know exactly if what's that guy's name? The glasses demon. He was like, oh,
Demiurge.
Demiurge. Yeah, he's like, I guess I don't really know, but he's like, I guess I have to. When Demiurge comes across this process, I'll have to act like I knew it the whole time. I'm like, ah, just say what you're thinking. Be yourself, please.
Yeah, you know what? Because like it's stupid. Because like they'll blindly follow him to the ends of the earth, and no matter like what he says, if it goes against their thinking, they'll just think it was their fault for not thinking, knowing what he was thinking.
Yeah. And it's like, no, he's just an idiot. He doesn't know anything. But because he's perfect, you gotta let it go.
But here's the question now: since he has no human emotions left, even if he found another player that happened to be his friend, will he care?
I don't know. Because sometimes it's like when you are in the absence of something for so long, once you get you revert back to your natural state of being,
Perhaps.
like riding a bike. Is one of the examples. I ain't rode one in a long time, but I know I can get on one right now and escape if I had to. So that's the best way I can put it.
Gotcha. Well, moving on. What else do we got?
Shield Hero and
Spy.
Spy Family. Oh, you want to talk about Spy first?
Whichever is fine with me.
Is that because you just said Spy? So I was like, oh, okay, you pick a Spy.
Oh no, I was just helping you think of the name.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go with Spy since you said Spy.
Sure. I just wanted to say that it's a moo cow.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious too.
I feel
So
like that. I feel like Spy is 90% Anya's reactions to things, and then 10% the story.
she definitely makes the show. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if it'd be worth watch. Well, it probably still be worth watching.
Yeah, because the
But
plot is good enough as it is with like Lloyd, and you don't really see much of Yor doing anything anymore other than pretending to be a mom.
yeah,
But like Anya's face is like the face she made when Lloyd said it was whatever animals he called it, and she was just looking at him like it's clearly a cow, you dumb fuck.
yeah. Her facial expressions. That's my first note here. Like her facial expressions when she's watching Bond Man, and and then she's like, "Oh, I don't want to study. I don't want to study." and like she's realizing that Lloyd is looking at her grades and she's like failing everything. I'm like, oh man. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna work on my mind reading.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which
yeah, so I won't
I'm amazed
fail.
she didn't think of to like, because he basically said it like she just has to ease into the good grades, and she completely ruled out using her mind to get good grades. And like, no, just don't answer everything
Yeah,
right.
that's basically
It's cheating 101, Anya. What the fuck?
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, basically.
When you cheat, you don't get 100.
Yeah. You miss a few on purpose. Someone gotta take the hit.
Although Anya did make me mad when she said ooting instead of outing. It's like, no, not a ooting, Anya.
I think that's just because he's little and that's what she just calls the stuff.
Reading minds and can't properly say words. Damn it, cute little thing.
Yeah. So then yeah, Lloyd had the idea of trying to get relating her homework more to Bond Man.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was funny. He was like, "Oh well, there's other ways to get Stellas," and then he went and did all these different activities, like where she was jumping rope and stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, we do something active," and she gets. This part was funny. She gets caught up in the rope, and she's like, "Anya would do her best," and it's like,
Responding to his thoughts, yeah.
yeah, yeah," and then he's like, "Now untie me."
Which he
she,
seems to be like catching a little more often now.
yeah,
Because, like, when she said later on that the kid was in the water, he didn't even. His first thing wasn't to, like, call her out on a lie. His first response was, "Who are you?"
yeah, because
So I thought they were gonna. I thought he was gonna dig into that because she made the statement and then, like, someone was drowning. He had to save the kid.
yeah, it's one of those ones where you just got to write up the anime plot armor because she just doesn't know or yeah, one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But before all of that, they had started to do community service. They had community service at the hospital, and the jobs I thought were funny. She can't clean. The one lady was like, "You got to do something about her over there doing this," and she's reading manga, and then she spills food,
She
and
sleeps
then
doing
she's
laundry,
yeah, and then
and
she's like, "Oh, I want a job where I give doctors scalpels," and
and
then
she.
she
I
yeah
love how like the line for the lady was her just bumping into her. It's like, please leave. We don't want
yeah
your help anymore.
yeah. I thought that was funny too. So so then what happens is she starts hearing the voice, a boy drowning, and uh, like what you said earlier was like, who is she? And he's like, oh, and then she's like, oh, I want to become a swimmer, be a pro swimmer. So she takes off running towards the pool, and she just like dives on in, and they save the boy. And then she earns a Stella, and she starts getting the big head, and she wants to be referred to as Starlight Anya. Which I was like, that is like the most little kiddish thing I've ever seen. And then her
And she
friend
wouldn't
Becky,
respond to her friend
yeah,
unless she
yeah,
called her Starlight Anya.
yeah. And I was like, dang, Becky, that's hilarious. So then everyone at the school starts talking,
Shit.
yeah, and then Damien stands up for it, which is surprising because it's like what kind of school do you think we would go to where someone would get a reward for like unsavory behavior or bribes or not doing the stuff. But it actually infuriates him because she didn't cheat in order to get her Stella. So that was good. And then Becky tells her to ask for a reward, and she wants to get Anya actually wants peanuts. She loves peanuts. That which is still hilarious.
And she's like, ask for more. And then she's like, a mansion. It's like, where would you even put it? Then a year's worth of peanuts. Like, is all you want peanuts?
Yeah. And then eventually they come around to getting a dog. She asked Damon he had a dog, and that's her idea. Her one of her ideas to get world peace is to visit his house with the dog. And let's see,
I
yeah.
like
Then they,
how I like how Anya was coming up with plans to help Lloyd get to meet her dad, and like a little while before the cafeteria scene, I think this happened, and she's like, um, Damien will praise her for getting a star, and then they'll get invited to the house, and then there'll be world peace, and then like Damien like talked shit to her, and she's like, that didn't go as planned. The world is in peril.
Yeah. So then I thought this was also hilarious when they were talking about dogs and Lloyd's like, oh, we get a a big guard dog, and then uh Anya like sees the dog, and she's like, oh, I want a small dog, and then and you're because you was thinking that the dog would just rip Anya apart, and she's like, oh no,
Do you think
and
she can see what people imagine too?
I feel like her imagination is vivid enough that she can imagine it,
Because I feel like
but
Yor didn't say anything when she thought of a little dog slicing Anya with a knife, and like Anya still reacted to it.
yeah, which I want to say she thought of, well, she said something like, "Oh, little dog would be good" or something, and then like she had that thought. So she might be able to see visions or whatever. But that was all. That might be my flavor when the dog jumped up and sliced her in the neck. I was like, "Ain't no dog doing that, jumping
did you
up and slicing you in the neck."
did you see the ending scene
I did, where the dog had a vision, and I was
about the
like,
Yeah, like, what the fuck was that? This dog is
I,
psychic.
"That's what I was thinking." Like somehow they're going to end up seeing each other. I'm just gonna be like, "I want this dog." So
We're gonna see.
yeah, season finale next week.
So, Shield Hero. Maybe there's another episode of this. Maybe not. But
You know, too. Also, holidays next week.
oh, 4th of July is next. No,
Well, the
that's
first is next week. I think some places give you off that Friday.
not mine.
Yeah, that Friday and Monday. I'm fortunate enough to be off.
I think I got half a day on Monday, which it's my choice to go in or not, and I'm gonna go in.
Yeah,
But
Friday and
yeah, we
Monday.
might be short some episodes. I don't know. Depends. Anime is kind of weird with the days off it takes.
Yeah. Well, I got more than enough to make up for it.
Huzzah!
Nah, nazar.
Nazar.
Never, ever,
But
ever,
yeah,
ever, ever,
episode
ever.
12, A Shield Hero. Another nameless episode, I might add. Come on, guys. Can't come up with a title.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
they always come up with a title later for some reason. Like the one that missed the title last week or a couple weeks ago, they came back with the title. I was like, oh,
oh, okay, because
okay.
I still didn't see a title for episode 11.
I don't know why it doesn't show up. I feel like Crunchyroll. No, this was Funimation. Funimation would have had a title up there.
Funimation has a terrible navigation menu.
No, Crunchyroll is worse for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I feel like with Funimation, I think what's annoying about Funimation is every time I try to rewatch something on Funimation, I need to like either manually erase each and every episode off my history list, which you pick a fucking show like One Piece, no fucking way I'm doing that. That's one by one, over 1,000 episodes. I'm good. I'm good. I watch it on Crunchyroll. But like also, I had this issue when I was watching Dragon Ball where sometimes it just when I go back to resume an episode, it just go to the next one. When
I don't
I'm
have
not,
that
I
issue.
wouldn't even be nowhere near the end of the episode. I'm like, bro, that shit's just skipping episodes for me now.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Shield Hero. Lark and his crew are fighting off the waves while Nalfami and his crew go to find Kyo. And when they finally get into his lair, three girls that Kyo turned into chimeras show up, ready to fight them for that one guy who got sliced by Raftalia for his sake. But Raftalia single handedly, very easily, cut them all down.
Was that him though? God, I don't remember him being the mirror vassal or whatever.
He wasn't the mirror vassal. So what happened was he brought the guy back and put the mirror vassal's soul into his body. Is what Kizuna said. No, not Kizuna. Kizuna is the other girl. The girl that was his childhood friend. She said that.
Yamoji,
Whatever her name is.
Jamunji.
Yeah. So apparently the missing mirror vassal Kyo had it all along, and he put that vassal's wielder's soul into the other body that got split in half, and then created that zombie looking thing.
Yeah, the homunculus.
Mm-hmm. And then Naofumi and Rishia caught up to Kyo, who he wanted to kill them personally anyway. And Naofumi just got pissed off, and like Dragon showed up, which was. Do you think it was the shield talking to Naofumi or the dragon?
I think it was a dragon.
You think it was the dragon, right?
Yeah, dragon in the shield.
So the dragon basically says, "This time we'll become one." And he just grabs Risha by the neck and like rips into her with insults and calls her a whore and a slut. I'm like, damn. And then she was like, "Now I know how you truly feel." I was like, "Wait, but then she was like, "Now get out of now for me." I was like, "But you, if you know that wasn't now for me, you mean to tell me you were wondering how the dragon felt?"
Well, it's probably one of those ones where the dragon like has thoughts or he brings his thoughts to life or like what he thinks. Like it might have been to that degree of like thinking she's a slut or something, but it's thinking like, oh, she really wants to be with the bow hero, but she's in my party. So like why are you in my party? You want to be with him.
Well, yeah, but like he also said that he's only using Philo and Raphtalia as long as they're useful, which is still false. So I don't know if he actually feels
Well,
that way.
in the beginning, that's what he was using them for. He's like, I do what I got to do this and then get out of here.
Yeah, in the beninging,
The what?
the beninging, in
Okay.
the bening. No,
Mm,
you don't know what I mean.
nah, dog, you
Oh,
lost me.
oh, my bad. Anyways,
Yeah.
anyway, so Risha basically kind of like makes Naofumi hesitate to accept the rage, and then like Naofumi has this battle with him while Risha like fights Kyo to defend him and try to convince him to wake up. And before Naofumi gets swallowed up by the rage, Oz shows up. It's like, I thought I told you you don't need these flames anymore. And then when Naofumi snaps out of it, Raphtalia and Philo are holding on to him, and then the rage shield becomes the spirit tortoise shield that it became last time they fought Kyo. And Kyo sprouted wings and unleashed a blast, and Naofumi did his blast, and he was losing energy. But then Raphtalia put the mirror vassal weapon in front of the shield, and his blast increased, and they ended up defeating Kyo. And boom, they win. And it's like, oh yeah, yeah, we advanced us. And she shows up and she says thank you or something like that. And Raphtalia is like wiping tears from her eyes, and Naofumi's being happy and saying thank you, including Risha. Excuse me. And
Excused.
oh, thank you. So they go out, and they're like, we were supposed to hitch a ride with the wave, but I guess we're gonna have to wait till the next waves. And then Lark and his crew's like, I guess you're gonna have to hang out with us for a month. And it's like, no choice. But then a countdown shows up. Looks like it's gonna teleport us, and we have less than a minute. And Kazuna's just like, no, no, I'm not ready. Would it be okay if I come see you? And Naofumi's just like, sure, as long as you're not trying to kill me. And she's like, you dummy, you know I wouldn't. And like she's about to cry, blah blah blah, and they teleport back.
Yeah.
Ending of Shield Hero episode 12.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. The little thing I had a question about though. Does she still keep her katana? Cause I couldn't see it when she went
I think
back.
she does have it.
But isn't that supposed to have been like they're the vassal of whatever that other world was?
Yeah, and like I had that theory as well, but like when you think about it, Just because it was another world, it didn't stop those weapons from being able to go to Naomi's world. Like the book
Yeah,
ended up there. You know what I mean? So I feel like if they really want that weapon, someone's gonna have to go there and get it.
yeah.
Which good luck. But then they mentioned some pigeon, some spirit pigeon.
Mm,
Where does spirit pigeon came from?
I have no idea.
We're just writing in animals now.
Riding in animals.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, I think that might have been the end of Shield Hero. Maybe.
It
I don't
could
know.
have been. I don't know.
We'll
Don't
see.
at me, dog.
We shall see. If it was, then we're gonna have a bit of a shorter episode next week.
That's all right, dog. I ain't mad at it.
It be like that.
It
Anything
is
you got?
what it
Anything you need to
is.
go out on, Herb?
Nope. I got nothing to go out on.
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for this week's installment of Herbal Synergies, the shop. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share us, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.